Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, giving you the latest rundown on the NFT space through my lens. So all the things that I'm currently interested in. This is such a big space, evolving so quickly. It's really hard to keep your finger on the pulse, doing as much as I can, putting in around 2 days per week into the NFT sector. It has been quite fruitful, I will admit that. And some nice gains have been made so far, not all of which have been realized by me yet, which may still be an issue, but the prices have been going up rather nicely. So hopefully you're enjoying this content on NFTs. I did just post this, and rather amusingly, out of the 3 votes so far, so the poll was, how many NFT related videos would you like per week? And then none, I hate NFTs, 2 votes for that already. So clearly some NFT haters out there, people who maybe just don't get NFTs quite yet. But I think once you have that light bulb moment, you can be converted to it. And I wouldn't write this sector off at all. If maybe you're on the fence like these guys here who voted with none, you need to open your minds up to this because it is the fastest growing sector in cryptocurrency. So that being said, if you enjoy the content in today's video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit on that thumbs up icon, and also turn on post notifications. So looking at this, the data from Opensea right now, here we have the monthly volume, and these are skyscrapers and then the absolute monster for August. You can just see the volume in total NFT sales is just shooting through the roof. Opensea is putting in crazy numbers. Its valuation earlier in the year at hundreds of millions of dollars will now be multi-billions. You can also see on the daily chart here, since around the 1st of August, we just picked up a new notch here and really started to accelerate the number of daily users on the platform. NFTs sold, again, everything just going up here. That hockey stick approach where you're just seeing parabolic moves across all metrics. And of course, this means that we're burning a ton of Ethereum because the gas costs on OpenSea are high. All these new NFT drops are attracting whales and people minting, pushing up the gas fees. And you can see 393 ETH have been burned by OpenSea alone in the last 24 hours. So the biggest net contributor to Ethereum being burned on the network. So this is phenomenal stuff. And 2021 has been the year of NFTs so far. So this tweet here, OpenSea just hit 1 billion in trading volume for the month. And this is just so far in August, 18 days in, or when he posted that, 17 days in. We're still not done. Maybe we'll hit 2 billion this month. It's a real parabolic growth curve. And also this guy states, and it's still day 0 for NFTs. Like, we're so early in this industry, it is ridiculous. You can't even fathom how early we are. It's like pre-game stuff. We haven't even had the anthems yet. And not many people even know how to use a MetaMask wallet. Out of the percentage of the world, like hardly anyone knows how to use MetaMask. And then from that group of people who can actually use a MetaMask account are in maybe DeFi degens and stuff, how many of those are actually into NFTs? Not a lot. And from what I've been seeing over on Twitter and things, people who have started to get into NFTs recently, I've seen a few CEOs from projects saying, look, bought my first NFT, made like a 5x or a 10x, where can I buy some more? And this is the common theme with NFTs. People get into them and it's like a bug you can't shake. You just get very much addicted to these things. It hits a lot of dopamine trigger points for sure. But on top of this, you can just see that this is a revolutionary market sector. And of course, the growth of OpenSea opens the door for other NFT marketplaces to really kick off. Superrare being one, and they actually introduced their rare token just yesterday. And this is what put in huge gains over the last 24 hours. I wish I saw this yesterday. I would have bought some a little bit late to the party. 24 hours in crypto makes a huge difference. But this again is like a picks and shovels play. And the valuation of this just shot through the roof. So if you've actually used Superrare previously, hopefully you've done some trading on there, you can actually claim the token airdrop. So they're rewarding people who have previously used Superrare. And you're going to get some super rare tokens. And the valuation of some of these airdrops has been in the thousands of dollars and even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the amount of usage you've had on there. So yesterday, this shot from a price of around 25 cents at CoinGecko initially listing it, went all the way up to $2.13, now at $1.40, 244% gain on the day. So that's pretty much a hockey stick again there. And what do we know about this? It's not even that traded on that many markets. Uniswap, Paraswap, SushiSwap, so just your DEXs there. Market cap $160 million. Of course, OpenSea, the #1 platform for NFT marketplace right now, but over time, others will really heat up in this sector and start to put the pressure on. So at $160 million market cap, it may seem a little bit hot right now because it's up 244%. But had we got in yesterday, like I'm kicking myself that I didn't see this one, when the market cap was down here, $30–40 million, it was an easy buy. Maybe not so much now, maybe this will pull back, but worth keeping your finger on the pulse here in this sector, and also looking at other tokenization of these marketplaces for NFTs, because clearly they're going to generate huge amounts of revenue. So DCL Blogger posted this: in the last 6 months, NFT platforms have realized that a native token and currency to incentivize user base activity is a no-brainer. So this was something that was missing previously. They weren't letting the community have a stake in the networks, but he's now expecting more airdrops and token activations. Potentially, we could see OpenSea create their own token. It would make a lot of sense, as that would do a few things. It would actually push the bull market for NFTs even further, because if a lot of people gained a lot of wealth really quickly just from interacting with an OpenSea trade or whatever, you got an airdrop of X amount, like Uniswap did, people are going to have money and they're going to be spending it on NFTs. So it would not surprise me if OpenSea did some form of token generation and airdropped it to users. So do make sure that you've interacted with plenty of different NFT marketplaces and stuff, because as we know, airdrops are a popular thing to get a community behind a token. So one of the NFT pieces I've bought this week is from a collection called the Glue Factory Show, which is an NFT animated series. And this was actually highlighted by Gary V a couple of days ago. He did put a disclaimer out. I'm not saying this is a project you should go and invest into, but he says someone's going to make the breakout show in NFT land. And when they do, the NFTs that launched it will explode and will be fascinating to see by how much. And he's then got the picture of the Glue Factory Show, which is headed up by some comedians and some actors in the US that you may actually recognize, the likes of Colton Dunn, John Barinholtz, Katie Rich, Jim Wise, and Rob Belushi. Those are clearly their horse pictures. I don't know if anyone's watched Superstore, the series. Do you remember this guy? He's the dude in the wheelchair on that series. Quite a funny show, one I got into during lockdowns. So essentially this is going to be a dark humor comedy, all starring the NFTs that they've released. So it's a 10,000 NFT collection of these different horse characters. And I think with the release of the Stoner Cats by Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, and this seeming to be maybe the second one that's being pushed out by actual celebrities, actual actors and comedians, that we've got some nice competition here. And this could be a new way for this kind of entertainment to actually become a popular thing. So you might see more people jumping on this kind of model for funding their art projects in the future. So I think this could have some historical context, got some people I do recognize, and they recently had a Twitter Spaces that I listened to, and I will leave this in the show notes down below, because they've actually got a rerun of the Twitter Spaces. It was about 45 minutes in total. And we had a bit of behind the scenes, what these guys have been up to, and the sort of vibe, what's been going on, that kind of stuff. So some of the TLDR behind this then, the show will be released around December or January of this year / next year. Within this, they talked about some of their favorite characters of the horses. They specifically like the jacked horses, and they want to do something around kind of like steroids jokes or something like that with the horses juicing up. Seems really funny. Some real dark humor behind this. But of course, the NFTs that they generated out of the 10,000 will physically be in the show. And the show's going to be like a 6-episode series initially for series 1, each of around 5 to 10 minutes. On average, they've got some special guests who will be coming in as well. So using their contacts there. They've also got an additional drop coming. So if you own any of these horses, you will be able to mint the next in line of the editions. So that will also drive some value to these. But if you want to get involved with actually some scripting on the show or putting forward suggestions, they have like an open room on their Discord as well, which is rather cool. So I did pick a couple of these up. On the basis they said that the jacked ones would actually be definitely in the show. I went and picked some of these up as well. The floor price on these jacked ones, which is the breed type, is 0.6 ETH currently. So I picked up 2 of these to hold until the show is released, and we'll see what happens from there. But rather interesting and a new way of just getting art and creativity out there. Next up, some Lonely Alien Space Club stuff. And you may have seen this guy posting on Twitter about how he flipped these CryptoPunks, made 125K off them, flipping penguins, making a load of money, essentially a whale in the NFT space. And now he's jumped onto Lonely Alien Space Club as his next big move. And he says, this is my alpha for this. So within this, which I will leave down below, I won't go through all of it. He talks about the price trends of CryptoPunks, how they took off, and how community is the main driving force behind NFT project doing well. And he sees some real potential in the Lonely Alien Space Club's community to be one of the top projects. Kind of seems a little bit pumpy and dumpy here, as he essentially talks about other whales in his Telegram groups coming in and sweeping the floor of Lonely Aliens, which is rather evident because over the last few days, the floor was like 0.07 ETH and then went all the way up to 0.5 ETH just yesterday. It's pulled back a bit now, around 0.36, but it does seem that they've had a bit of influence in the market here. And also, interestingly enough, they've got a few connections here with actual NFT investors and people from kind of big business backgrounds. So this guy here, Brian D. Evans, got 850,000 followers, investor and entrepreneur. And this guy has actually been buying up Lonely Alien Space Clubs on his public wallet. So a few little breadcrumbs here that this may not just be BS, but there might be some real money moving into this space. You've got a famous TikToker there as well. So one to maybe have on the radar, but this could be a pump and dump. I don't really know. I do own some Lonely Aliens. I actually minted them on mint day, which was a couple of weeks back now. And I have to say the community around this one in the Discord is one of the more positive and one of the more interactive ones I've been involved with. And the devs behind it have got their ducks in a row. They've got things like a Twitter bot that constantly pumps out the recent activity of sales direct onto Twitter, which I think is pretty cool. But nevertheless, this one could be one that gets the pump treatment. I think that those pudgy penguins essentially were pushed up by influencers and people with big wallets. So a similar thing may be happening here. So just worth keeping tabs on. Next up, I want to talk about this. We have the release of the Rickstro BULLS from Astro Friends tonight, August 18th, 10 p.m. UTC. So this is going to be rather exciting. You can see some of the artwork here and one of the pictures here. They're going to be super cool. People are into Rick and Morty, and so I think this could be of cultural significance going forward. I will be looking to hold on to mine for a good time because I think there's potential for this to do very well when you've got the actual animator from the series producing the artwork. So unlike many of these profile picture plays, this one has legit artists behind it with actual known work out there in the real world. And the team behind Astro Friends have kind of released who they are in an article recently, and they're called Collector X. Just a little bit of information on these. The team's strong collective drive has led them to incredible opportunities, such as working directly with Stan Lee and the current Marvel editor-in-chief, CB Cebulski, on their comics. So again, these guys have real ties to big names in the animation industry. And so to be fair, out of all the profile picture projects I've bought, the Astro Friends to me seem the most bullish, excuse the pun, overall. Now to claim your Rickstro Bull, if you haven't done this, you need to do it ASAP by tonight. You need to come over to the Astro Friends website and then click on claim. And then if you connect your MetaMask wallet, and then you can mint, I think up to 5 or 10 at a time, just pay the gas fee and then you will have your Rickstro Bulls good to go. And they will be released in terms of what they look like after 10 p.m. If you want to buy an Astro Bull off the secondary market, make sure you enter the token ID here just to make sure no one's already minted it. So you can see down here, I've already claimed 3244. So if I pop that in, it will let me know that this one's already been claimed. So you ideally want to get one that hasn't been claimed. One of the benefits of people not claiming them is there will be less than 10,000 of the Rickstro Bulls, which will make them a bit more rare as well. So here are mine waiting in my wallet here got 5 ready for release. I'll surely put a post out about this tomorrow, hoping I get a nice looking rare one and I'll have a new profile picture. Now the profile picture game is all well and good, but these 10,000 piece collections surely will run their course. And I've been looking to actually move into more of an arty kind of a vibe here and looking at things with a bit more historical context, as in terms of long-term value, I think these will do a lot better. And also the fact that trading a few and buying a few, the pieces of art that I've bought have outperformed the profile pictures thus far. So one of the top pieces here is Artblocks Curated, and this is trending #1 collection right now. The floor price around 0.89 ETH. I'm sure this will be above 1 ETH in not too long, and as more people get adopted into the industry, and this one has clout and a good name behind it, in the similar way to CryptoPunks and the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they've got good names behind them already. They've got that brand recognition. I think the prices of these will just go up and up and up as more people get active in this industry. It's just a no-brainer, in my opinion, that these are almost surefire to do well. The amount of market penetration we got so far is absolutely minuscule. We're very early days with all of this. So I think picking up some of these and holding these for the long term could pay absolute dividends. So in terms of these art blocks, these are generative pieces. This means that they were created by algorithms, and the algorithm lives on the Ethereum blockchain. So unlike a typical piece of art in a gallery, I would never go and buy a piece of art in a gallery. The fact they live on Ethereum means that these will never die. Whereas a physical painting over time will wear down. It could get fire damage, water damage, all those kind of things. These are going to be living and breathing on the Ethereum blockchain long after me and you have gone. So in terms of a historical context, I think that these are very powerful pieces. And this is ultimately what is helping drive the price up. People understand this concept that these will go on forever, and they are now a part of the Ethereum blockchain and Ethereum's history. So it is rather cool what you're buying here. Now, the squiggle was the first piece. It's kind of a bit of a meme piece here. And these are up to like 6, 7, 8 ETH in total now, which is rather crazy. And the gains for all these art blocks curated projects have been massive. So if we just pull up a few here and have a little look from price low to high, the ones that you can bid on, the end time seems to just roll over for some reason. I think someone's playing around with this. Essentially, you're going to have to buy one of these bottom pieces here, crypto blots, not ones that I particularly like. I've been buying up some of the 27 bits, and it says the essence of these are all things digital. It's the bit, a 1 or a 0, on or off, where digital becomes analog. Now these are priced quite cheaply, but I think that this is pretty cool. So I've bought a few of those up. I've also bought up a algorithm piece as well, which is a lot more expensive. And then yesterday they had these drop. I think they were 0.1 ETH to mint, and now they're trading around 1.1 is one of the cheapest that you can find on here. So Artblocks is definitely one to keep your eye on. Zeneca33 posts this, bit of an update on the Artblocks curated different projects. You can see all the pieces by name, their mint price, the amount of them, and then the floor and how that's changed over the last 48 hours. So these are the scribbles that were released yesterday. And as you can see, 1,024 pieces, but 426 are already listed for sale. So clearly people getting into these are looking to flip them straight away, cash in, make a nice bit of profit, but they're not in here for the long run. So you might see that the price of these dips down quite nicely, maybe below 1 Ethereum. These may not be a bad one to buy and hold. I can't really comment on flipping as it's not something I've been massively into. I've done a few pieces here and there, but I think from looking at the price data behind many of these pieces, those who sold them like a couple months back are probably kicking themselves, and I'm sure we'll be sat here in 2 months' time going, if I sold back in August, I really would have been kicking myself as well. The price just seems to be going up and up and up. These are all limited, they're scarce in number. Most of them have got like 1,000 or less in total. So algorithms I got, there's only 1,000 of those. For the 27 bits, 1,024. Scribble Boundaries yesterday, 1,024 pieces. And as we saw from those numbers on Opensea, the amount of people coming into this industry is going parabolic. So these prices can only really go the one way over a long run, I believe. And what's awesome about this art is the fact that anyone can participate now. It's on an open platform, Opensea. Anyone can connect their MetaMask and buy these, whereas in an art gallery, how many people are actually going to even A, step in there, B, see the piece, and thirdly, actually bid or buy a piece? Very limited numbers of people, way too niche, but this is democratizing art in a way and making people get easy access to these things. And you can then show them off. You can put them on your page, post them on Twitter. You can prove your ownership. I think this is the new digital flex in the art world. Now, Ethereum is the home of NFTs, but they are popping up elsewhere as well on different blockchains. Solana have released Solarians, their first NFT drop. So this one could be a historical piece in the long run. Well, I'm sure it will be in the long run. So if you've got a long-term time horizon here, these may be worth picking up. However, Solana has blown up in price this week, and to mint these, it's 19.03 Sol, and there's still some remaining due to the fact this is quite expensive now. So 19.03, 1,463 bucks. So that is a hell of a mint price, but that's because Solana's pretty much done a 2x over the last week. Still would have been expensive, but you can see why these haven't sold out yet. But if you are a long-term collector of NFTs, I do not think this is a bad one to pop in the portfolio whatsoever, just for that historical context and what Solana is going to build out. You may have seen this post already, the definitive guide to early NFTs on Ethereum. All of the original pieces on the ETH blockchain, these NFTs, have been going up in price rather steadily. So CryptoPunks clearly are super, super expensive now. We've seen the likes of the Ether Rock from 2017 blow up. Curio cards have gone up quite a bit. Crypto art as well has been creeping up nicely, 2018 piece, so on and so forth. But it's worth scouting through these, trying to find maybe ones that you think are inexpensive, as over the long run, as more people come into the industry, the older pieces will become the most rare, as we're getting a real proliferation of NFTs in the sector now. You would have seen probably tens or maybe even 100,000 NFTs created in the year 2021. Next year, that number will go up again. So all the previous years are going to have their own cachet around them. So worth thinking about that. And DCL Blogger put this: hodl any NFT pre-2019, in my opinion. If a handful of people are digging these projects up now, millions will dig them up later. So history matters when collecting. So this is well worth thinking about and having a look through some of these. I did buy CryptoKitty. They're extremely cheap, but they are huge in number. There's millions of them, I think 2 million in total. But still, if we onboard 1 billion people into NFTs eventually, then maybe these will be worth quite a bit in the future as well. Bit of fun, do your own research, check them all out. This is not investment advice. You could lose absolutely everything with NFTs, but it's definitely worth having on your radar. So I hope you enjoyed this NFT episode. Make sure you pop over to my poll on YouTube just to let me know how much kind of NFT content would you like to see. It's a growing sector. It's a strange one to wrap your head around, but once the penny drops, I think people will start to get it. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will be dropping very soon. Goodbye.